Are you looking to make test prep easy this year? Here are 5 things you can do now during back to school to help your students feel more success when testing rolls around. Angela here from Custom Classroom. Before we get started, I want to remind you that I'm not affiliated with TEA or STAAR. These are my ideas as a Texas educator and test prep writer. I know you might be thinking test prep already, but I know from experience that it's never too late to help students prepare. If you can optimize your word wall, daily practice, positive talk, assessments, and read more with your students, you will find success come testing time. Let's begin with your classroom word wall. So a word wall is just a spot in your room where your students can see important vocabulary all year long. Whether it's the beginning of the school year or far into the year, you need a word wall. The best way to optimize your word wall is to include not just content vocabulary, but vocabulary students will see on standardized testing, like the word common. You might just assume that students know what this word means, but expanding and explaining in detail and giving them an example of what an exact question might look like on a test will help them overcome this language hurdle and better understand what's being asked of them. Second, you must use it. If your word wall just sits there all year, students won't really pay attention to it. So it's really important to become part of your daily routine. Add it into your weekly plans, either using word wall games, when you should add words, make it a student's job, or just make it a habit to point out words as you review and test concepts with the whole class. Next is the most important, daily practice. And I'm not talking about teaching to the test or cramming in practice tests. You need to find a way to naturally weave in test-like questions into your daily routine. It's important, even more important now, since the STAAR test has a new style of questioning that students are not used to. There are many ways to accomplish this. You could incorporate test-like questions daily in your warm-up. You could plan out one center or station in your classroom and always include a test-like question. Task cards are a great way to incorporate this. Boom cards or digital cards are another great way to add this in, and they're even more amazing because they're self-grading and require no prep. Exit tickets are another way to not only check for understanding for the day's lesson, but to also slowly expose students to the style of questions. The most important thing is to find what works for you and be consistent. Next is to always have positive self-talk about the test with your students. Negative thoughts can be contagious, so no matter how you feel about the test, whether you agree with it, are nervous, or overwhelmed, just remember your students are always watching, and they will model your calm confidence if you put that face forward every day. It is also important to utilize your regular classroom assessments and checks for understanding. These are perfect and natural ways to incorporate the new types of questions in a less intimidating testing environment. Finally, read, read, read. So many times, reading level and comprehension are the main hurdle for students. Make reading just a normal thing you do every day and have fun with. Read with partners, read stories aloud to your students, especially if you teach older students. Do not let this slip with the busyness of the day. It is critical. To be able to read and comprehend opens so many doors. So let's review. To help your students succeed on end of year testing, you need to focus on your word wall, your daily practice, your positive talk, your assessments, and to read, read, read. I hope you found this video helpful. If you are looking to learn more about the new STAAR test, check out my video series on the changes coming. Good luck.